Well, hello. Make way for the working mom. Today's episode is the perfect conversation if you're a mom or a dad who's ready to get back to the workplace after staying home with the kids for a while, or maybe you're not ready to return to work. We'll talk about that too. I'm your host, Malena Jackson, and you're listening to Family Planet365, brought to you by The Nanny Factory. The Nanny Factory, making good help easy to find. Learn more at www.thenannyfactory.com. Today is the day. Woo! Woohoo! We're debuting the show on KHTS AM 1220. I'm super excited to finally see this project come to life. A little more about me. I believe strongly in the well-being of families. And that means I want you to take care of yourself. I want you to take care of your kids. I want you to have the life that you want, because we really can have it all. And I meet so many families today who put their lives on hold for the sake of the kids. But here's a hint. You're not doing yourself or them a favor. So I'm all about the good stuff. If you're down with that too, then be sure to tune in every Friday at 11 for Family Planet 365. The topic today, make way for the working mom. I'm extremely excited to talk to my first guest, Nancy Karras. Nancy is the nation's top career coach and mentor. She is an executive master coach at the 5 O'Clock Club and is a member of their management team. Nancy started her coaching practice called Habitat for HR in 1994. I was in high school. As a successful senior human resources leader and counselor for startups, Fortune 500 companies, entrepreneurs, and professionals, she has been featured in many publications, including Money and Inc. magazines. Nancy's goal is to free people from their self-limiting beliefs, to remind them that they are full of potential and promise. Yep, that's you. Please welcome transition coach, author, and speaker, Nancy Karras. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Malena.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. And first, let me say congratulations to you.
Thank you.
For finally having your dream come true.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm so excited to be your first guest. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, Nancy, let's get started. So tell me a little bit, when did you discover that you wanted to become a career coach?
So my corporate background is as a human resources leader, and I spent many years running the HR function for a variety of companies. And what I found is that what I really loved was helping people to succeed and be happy at the same time. Unfortunately, that isn't always the goal of management. And so for me personally, I realized it was time for me to step out of the corporate role and to be able to help people unencumbered without being stopped. And so I created my own practice and became a career and transition coach. And so I got some extra certifications, have a master's in HR, and hung my shingle out there and started helping people to really find both happiness and success in their lives at the same time.
Okay, and so 1994, you decided to basically go out on your own. And you talk about getting your degrees. So we're talking about moms going back to work. Perhaps they've been home with the kids for 2, 3, 4 years. And now they're thinking, you know what, I might need to go back to school because maybe now I was in sociology and now I want to do something with physical therapy. We know you have to have the certain qualifications, but what advice would you give to moms or dads who are thinking about going back into the workplace, but they are a little overwhelmed with the process? What would that look like?
The first thing I would say to people is that you definitely want to follow your dreams. You need to follow your heart and not what the committee is telling you to do. So we all have that committee of people around us telling us, get a job here, you better do this, you better do that. And so we follow paths that aren't the right path for ourselves. So the first thing I say is really listen to your own heart and what it is you want to do. The second thing I would say is to focus on where you would be happy at work. Where would you wake up every day and feel really content? Where would you wake up and feel like you enjoy going to work and you love what you do? And I would recommend that people look there first and see what kind of careers exist in those worlds. So for example, I have clients who decide to go back to work and their background has been warehousing for large publishing companies, and they say to me, Nancy, I love doing that. I love managing all these different distribution centers and things like that. But, work is okay. I would recommend that if they love wine, to do distribution for a winery. Or if you love children, then to work with a company that has a product or service around children. And then you marry what you love with your work, and work doesn't become work anymore. It becomes a joy.
Marry what you love with your work. Wow. Okay.
I think it's a really good idea. People do the traditional thing, and they feel that they have to follow the path that they're already on. Whether it's the right path or feels good or not, they feel, well, this is what I chose, I better stay here. And I think especially when you step out of the workforce and have some time as a mom or a dad who's taking care of a family instead, or aging parents even, you really, when you step back in, have to go back in and do what you love. It changes the whole game, and it becomes not a drag to look for work, but it becomes an exciting process and something that you can really look forward to instead of dreading.
Yeah, and I would take an exciting process any day over dreading the process. Well, you mentioned doing what we love and to really think about how you would marry what you do. Is that what you said?
Yes, I did.
Okay, what about the mom or dad who says, well, I'm not qualified. I've been out. They're going to ask, where have you been for 5 years?
Right.
What do you say to that parent who feels like they're starting over? Because for a lot of moms and dads, it's like, you've been away for so long, and do I even qualify? Can I even go back to what it was that I was doing? Or if I want to do something else, I don't qualify.
That's a very good question, really good question. And here's the truth. People feel that because they step out of the workforce, they're no longer of value. So people don't value themselves, or they think if they've done some work in the past, it doesn't count anymore because it was years ago. Well, we don't learn to ride a bicycle and then not get to ride for a couple of years and then tell people, oh, I don't know how to ride a bike, or you can't count on my skills. Of course we know how to ride a bike. So if you have accounting skills in the past, you still have those skills. It doesn't matter that you've been out of the workforce. That's the first thing. The second thing that I think is really important is that working parents who are home, taking care of their family, raising a family, taking care of aging parents, the skills required to manage the family, the home, the supplies for the home, the schedules for all the family members, the medical care, all of it, all the assets, all the property, all of those things require such important professional skills. And moms and dads who stay home feel that they're not worthy because they're home. And in actuality, they have such tremendous skills to bring back to the table when they come back to work. It's all how we position it in our heads and how we choose to see ourselves and what we've done in our lives.
Because it all matters.
It all matters.
Nothing is wasted. Whether I just had this funny scenario, like if you know how to change a diaper in 5 seconds, or you're really good at changing a poopy pamper, like that's got to count for something, right?
Totally.
Okay.
If you can do it that fast, think of all the things you can probably do just as quickly. Right.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get that. It doesn't matter. You're at home, you're raising a family, you're running the household. Those skills count.
Those skills count. And we are entering the age of entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Right? And what that means is that people are not going to work for corporations for years and years and years. People will be their own CEO of their own career. And what that means is you can be a working mom or dad at home. You can find people who need the support of your business and what you do, what you service, so that you can get work, stay home, and work around your own schedule and be very successful and happy.
I like that. And I actually heard one of my coaches, Grant Cardone, mention that even if you do go back to a corporate setting, maybe you're a banker or you work for a real estate company, you are your own business no matter what job you have. You have to look at it that way because, like you said, Nancy, people are not staying at corporate jobs for 20, 25 years anymore. We're more entrepreneurial, and you have to look at yourself as the business. You
Correct.
are the brand. And I think when we do come from that space, it's like, okay, well, what makes me happy? And the reason why I keep stressing that is because, a lot of times we go back to work, not necessarily because it's something like, hey, we want to do that. But a lot of families require a 2-income household. And I think for the moms that I've talked to, it's really kind of like dreading it. But like you said, if you really think about what it is that you love to do and think about your passion and get your mind right, like clear the fog, and look at it from that perspective, it's really kind of exciting.
Very exciting.
Because you get to like redo your life. Like one mom we're going to have on later, she's going to talk about how she felt reborn, like rebirth. Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the beauty of this life is that we can start over, right? You can do a do-over.
Yeah, we get to choose.
Right.
Every morning, every day, we get to choose like, okay, what is this going to look like for me?
And I think another thing that's really critical is people don't realize money is not the only currency.
Oh,
right? So,
that's another one. That's a deep, okay.
Right? You work at home. And you get love, you get community, you get family, you get your own personal satisfaction of seeing your children grow and become amazing people. But in our society, in the United States, we think of it differently. So it's like, oh gosh, I didn't make money for the last 5 years. I raised a family. I'm a nobody. But it's quite the opposite. I think those are the people that should hold their head high and go out there and show the world what talents they have and how they can do it all.
Wow.
Like you and I are doing,
yes,
right?
Yes, absolutely. Stamp
Exactly.
of approval. I love it.
Ditto.
Thank you. So what's the best way to gear up for job hunting and interviewing? So we got our head right. We thought about what we love to do. Okay, we're looking. Actually, when you mentioned wine, I was like, I could totally do that. I love wine.
There you go.
Yeah. So now, okay, we're ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
Now it's time to like pick up the phone, do some emailing. Like what do I do?
So the first thing I recommend that my clients do is to come up with a target list.
Okay.
And they have to create a list of industries, companies, geographical locations, demographics, all the things that they are looking for. So if it's a mom who says, I don't want to go further away than 15 minutes from my child's school, well, then take a map and make a circle around it and look for things in that target area. So first I ask my clients to come up with a target list. We want to go after specific companies and industries that people are interested in, that excites you. That way you're already interested. Then I ask people to do some homework, research the industry, research the opportunities, research the players, the people who are the members of the management team, and what kinds of things that company is doing out there in the world. Are they volunteering? Are they donating? Are they participating in changing the world? And figure out all those things before you start connecting with people to network. Once you've got all your information, you become what the 5 o'clock club calls a career insider, right?
Okay.
So as an insider, you know more about the industry. You understand what that company's doing. You want to know these days, what is a company's goal and what are they looking to achieve? What are their obstacles? When you interview, you want to be able to go in and answer those questions for them. So I understand your obstacles are this. I have the experience to come in and help you surmount that obstacle. Or I understand the goal of the company is this. I'm really excited to work for you because I have that same passion to see Africa have wells that are drilled for every village, something like that. So people then see you as more of a viable candidate because you're real. You connect with them as a person, as somebody who has a real interest and something to bring to the table. In the old days, we used to regurgitate our work history. So people would
Yeah.
ask us, and we'd say from 2000 to 2010, I worked for Mary Kay. From 2010, and people sit there and think, oh my gosh, I don't know how this fits in with what I need to hire today, right? But if you come in and say, I understand you're looking for a VP of distribution management, and I bring to the table X, Y, Z, and know that you're challenged with this problem.
So you're already bringing like you understand
You're
that.
acting like a consultant.
And yes,
Right.
I get it. I get
Right.
that. Wow.
That's the key
That's
to job
coming
hunting.
from a place of empowerment too.
That's it. I want people to take back their power and raise the bar. We give our power away.
Yeah, because it's like, please hire me. I know I've been out of work for a while, and I would I would do a great job. So you're saying no.
No.
Just come equipped. Do your research.
We give
First,
our
create the
power
plan.
away. We need to take back our power and decide what we want, where we think we can find it, and then who we think can help us get it.
All right.
And then connect with those people and really network, ask them for some information about the industry. The more information you have, learning from people who already do it, the more you become an insider.
And that's what you said. The 5 o'clock club is like, it's called an industry insider. Is that
We
what
call
it is?
it an insider, an industry insider, right?
Industry
Meaning that
insider.
you've learned enough about the industry or the company that you're interested in, that when you approach people to network or interview, they don't see you as someone who's just talking about, hey, I need a job.
Yeah.
And I have a background in XYZ, so what do you think? Instead, you're coming to them with a solution. You're coming to them like a consultant with an answer, and you're showing them how you have the passion to be a part of their team. It's a whole different way of empowering your career, becoming the CEO of your own destiny, whether, like you said, you're internal or you're a consultant on the outside. Either way, you can still manage your own career. We've been traditionally taught to give it away
Yep.
and let somebody else decide for us. No
Wow.
more.
No more.
No more.
Take back your life,
Right.
your power.
Right.
Well, I hear you saying, go in, get the information, go in with courage. What do we say when they ask, okay, so I see that in 1998 you were at X, Y, and Z company as the marketing specialist. Where have you been in between time? Like, why now? What's a good statement for that without like sounding like you're making an excuse or coming from a place of weakness in a
Right.
sense? Because that's what I would think, like, what have you been doing?
Sure, I've been doing nothing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, as I said before, I think people who are home really have tremendous jobs and they have tremendous roles. And so what they have to do is they have to position all that work and talk about it as if, like I said, it's a different currency. Maybe you didn't earn cash, but you sure earned something. So it was work. So I go in and say, for the last 5 years, I've been managing properties, property manager, my own property, but I'm a property manager. I'm the financial manager of a group. I manage our finances, right? Think about it, though. You
Wow.
schedule your kids.
Yeah.
You're a dispatcher. But it's
Okay.
true. All those skills, is it not true? All those skills and all of those talents that you have are applicable to the workforce now if we position ourselves. So that's what I'm saying about take back your power. If you give away your power, you say, oh, I was just home managing the house. Big deal. But if you say, hey, I spent the last 10 years managing 3 properties, managing aging parents, doing wills and estates, whatever you do, taking
So
care of
really
a
get
special
clear.
needs child. Yeah, whatever it is. I think that all of those lend to what you bring to the table now.
And even if you have been involved in the PTA, you can also outline some of the projects that you've worked on. If you did a fundraiser, oh my goodness, my wheels are spinning now, because
Correct.
it all matters. It all matters. And that's really what we're here to talk about today, is just not to discount what you've been up to for the past 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years. Well, Nancy, this is a good time for us to share with the listeners, where can we find you? If we want more information, we might need some counsel. Where can you be reached?
Okay, well, anybody who needs some help, I'd be happy to help. I love seeing people succeed and be happy. So I can be reached. My phone number is 661-309-7055, or you can reach me at nancy@transition.coach, not .com, .coach.
So
nancy@transition.coach.
You got that,
Thanks
Nancy?
for having me.
Nancy@transition.coach. All right. Well, you've been really helpful, Nancy.
Thank you.
You are the
So
perfect
great to
first
be
guest.
here. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Okay, see you soon.
All right. Well, this is a good time for a quick break. When we return, we'll have real life moms who will share how they're finding the work-life balance. More when we come back. You're listening to your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I'm your host, Malena Jackson, for Family Planet365, brought to you by the Nanny Factory. Today, we're talking about returning to work after an extended vacation at home with raising the kids. I'm looking forward to speaking to our next guest, who literally found a work opportunity that helps her fulfill her duties as a working mom, all while making a difference. Portia Franklin is a mom of two, and after becoming a mom, she's on a mission. She wants to empower other moms on their journey. She wanted to replace the feelings of frustration and being alone with a community of love and support. And that mission led her to HeartLink Network. HeartLink Network is an online and offline local community of moms who network together, have dinner once a month, and support one another with work and family. Hello and welcome, Portia.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Malena. I'm so excited about this energy that's been generated.
Awesome. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm glad you were able to take time out of your busy schedule because you're a mom of two little ones.
Yes.
Yeah, so I know what it's
miracles.
like. You got to get makeup on, get out the door. So I acknowledge you, and I thank you for being one of my guests today.
Thank you for having me.
So let's get started. Tell me a little bit about what life was like before you became a mom.
Well, definitely life was fun and amazing. I actually worked for a long time in the restaurant business, from like serving, hiring, training, market coordinating. So I did a lot of different angles in the restaurant business, all to bring customers in and make sure that they got the awesome service that they deserved.
And did you enjoy that?
I did.
What did you like about it? Like being a server, right?
Well, actually, being a server really gave me kind of that training at developing the heart of service. So I liked it because it taught me how to, because I started off being shy, and it taught me how to open up and communicate with people, and it also gave me access to having fun. Awesome. So I got a chance to create a win-win.
All right. And then, so we talk about HeartLink Network. So you become a mom, you're working in the restaurant industry, hospitality, and then here are the babies. Tell me how that happened. What happened?
Oh, wow. Well, actually, both of my kids were miracles.
Oh, really?
So I was told a while back that I was not going to really be able to have kids. So when I found that I was pregnant, I thought, is there some kind of mistake? But really, life changed for me. You definitely can't plan for a miracle, and sometimes you really don't understand the emotions that come along with being pregnant and having kids until you're actually there. I definitely felt a little bit alone. I felt a little bit of frustration, typically also because I started at 40.
Okay.
So it was definitely an interesting journey.
How did you make your way through?
I decided as a mom I was going to start taking opportunities to reach out, because I realized that there was other moms who probably felt the same way I did, and were probably in the same category I was, but starting after 40. But I just didn't know until I found a way to step out. So I did the Happy Mother's Day promotion at Kidco for 2 weeks, and through making moms happy, I found a little bit of happiness there too.
Awesome. That usually is how it works.
Yeah, and then it evolved into a moms group, and then from the moms group, it evolved into a group of moms wanting to make a difference. So that became the HeartLink.
Wow. And tell me a little bit about HeartLink.
HeartLink is an amazing group of moms who are definitely devoted to serving their community. Some of them serve the community by offering mom solutions on meal planning. Some provide moms a peace of mind by sharing them different ways to manage their finances, and they let them know, hey, you're not really stuck here. Step out, find out.
Step out, find out. Like that.
Some moms offer help with just organization, because that's usually a big struggle when you become a mom.
Toys everywhere.
Yes, and you might not have a big enough space, so sometimes she just really helps you with making the most of that space. So many different people there that kind of really help contribute life in the situation of frustration and the things that we typically struggle with.
Wow. And so HeartLink Group, is it online? Is it in face-to-face? How do you all
Well,
get
it
together?
is online. We do have a Facebook group. We definitely engage in discussion on our group. The other thing that we do have is we do have in-person meetings. We do have a one at night, which is just actually developed, and we also have a one in the afternoon because some moms are still working and want to make that step out to developing a business, and some moms aren't working and have a little bit more flexibility in the afternoon. So it kind of serves both angles,
Nice.
both situations.
And what role do you play in HeartLink Network?
Well, I actually play the connector.
Okay.
So a lot of times what happens is moms will come into the space, moms and businesswomen will come into the space, and I naturally see like a strategic connection.
Oh, so that's your gift, right?
So there's this way for each and every person to like work together and make a difference, because oftentimes the biggest gift that we can provide each other is the opportunity to help collaborate and work together. And that makes it easier to fulfill on whatever mission that you do have as a mom.
I love that. And that's one of the things I do share on the blog about, if you're a first-time mom or you have 3, whatever, you should be a part of a mom's group, because it shows you that you're not alone, and maybe your child wets the bed, maybe they don't sleep at night. You'll get around other moms and you realize, hey, it's not just my kid, so I can relax a little bit because this is kind of part of the journey.
Absolutely.
So I love that you've created HeartLink Network and you're getting moms together, learning how to support one another. And like I know something you told me, you'll find that one mom is good at this while it's something you might not be good
Yes.
at. And you guys connect and you become like a strong force because you're holding each other up.
And it's kind of a unique way to in business school, they talk about this a lot. They talk about the SWOT analysis, where you leverage your strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities and threats. And the HeartLink Network is really the opportunity to actually help you with that. So you don't have to feel alone while you're starting a business. You can feel supported while you're generating your business.
I like that. I like support. I love support.
And be a mom too.
Yeah, right? Because we can't have it all. And I
have it
always
all.
say that. You just have to plan.
Absolutely.
You have to plan and you have to take the action. Now, tell me a little bit, Portia, about your day. So you're wrangling these moms and you're wrangling your little ones and you have yourself, right? And I should have put that in another order. Actually, it's yourself, the children, then the moms. How do you manage it all?
Well, I just decided for one to develop a context around it. The context that I have is that this is an adventure, and that my kids and my husband were all part of Team Franklin. So just having that context really actually helps me provide, it gives me ideas to how to make that work. And it just, it helps me find a balance, because I think we kind of talked about this a little bit before. You definitely have a challenge with balance. Balance always has to constantly be recreated.
Okay.
You'll never have the same balance at once because your kids are going to grow. As you grow, you have to implement different strategies. And so that's really where having that context really helps you get the ideas on what strategies are going to work for you.
And it's like being fluid, stay fluid.
Yes, absolutely.
I like that.
Keep that energy going. Keep the drive alive.
Okay, so Portia, what would you say to the mom or what advice would you give to the mom or dad who want to get back into the workforce, but they're actually kind of nervous about it because it's been a while and they're not sure if this will be good for the family, although, making an income would be great, but then might not be able to be there to pick the kid up, or what if the child gets sick? You know how we run through all these things in our head like to stop us?
Yeah.
What advice would you give to that parent?
It's okay to have those thoughts, but definitely give yourself permission to pursue your passion. And just know if you go to the right places, all the resources that you need to make all of that happen will happen. And so you just allow yourself to live on that journey.
Allow yourself to
Yeah, because oftentimes we kind of let fear shape what we do. But as a person who's a big believer, who kind of has more of a religious standpoint, I definitely say let faith be your motivator. Take steps of faith, because everything we do in life was actually designed for us to actually take those steps of faith.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean that oftentimes as human beings, it's easy to kind of resolve to the fears that we have on the inside. But I think, it's kind of up to us to go ahead and consciously make that decision to use our fears as an opportunity to develop our faith. And oftentimes that leads you into a situation where you can find yourself sitting in church. You might find yourself praying a little bit more, because you do need more than just yourself to actually fulfill on the passions that you have on the inside. So give yourself that permission to step on in faith. And as you do that, you'll find the answers. Because we don't have all the answers. No human being does. We're not designed that way.
I love that. And that's one of the things our other guest was saying, like, you have people telling you, do this, do that, don't do that. But what I hear you saying, same thing that Nancy was saying, is, you got to really go within.
Absolutely.
And look and allow that fear to turn into faith.
Absolutely.
Or let the faith guide you.
Shift gears. Absolutely.
I love that. Well, where can we find more about HeartLink Network? How can we connect with you?
I would say your best bet is to definitely go online. You can go to www.91387.theheartlinknetwork.com and start there. Go ahead and search the site and get a chance to give yourself the opportunity to explore what's possible for you, and then give me a call.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Portia.
Thank you for having me.
It's been awesome talking to you. I wish you much success, and I'm sure that we'll be talking more.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Well, our next guest is Alexandria Smith, and when we come back, we'll talk to her about how she was working in PR for 15 years and got pregnant. And come to find out, it was 3 boys, triplets. Can you imagine going from 0 to 3? I know you say 0 to 100, but we're talking about 0 to 3. We're going to talk to her about how she's making it happen because she didn't want to leave PR, and how she's balancing it all. We'll have more in a minute. You're listening to AM 1220 KHTS, your hometown station.